Hello and welcome to my first of the 5 articles that I'll be looking at for the purpose of this assignment. The first one is it's pretty obvious what the issue is here. It's all about sexism in sport, particularly that was highlighted in the Rio Olympics, which is where my articles came from. The article I found initially because it popped up on my newsfeed in Facebook. However, when I delved a little bit further into the assignment and I actually Googled sexism in sport, I was really shocked by the outcome. Here is the results from when I typed Olympics and sexism into a simple Google search, and I was really quite distressed at how many articles came back. And here's a good idea of some of the articles that came up from the result of this search. The most sexist moments in the Olympics summed up in 10 tweets. I mean, that's just ridiculous that we have this in today's society. But there was quite a common theme through all of the other research that I did, and that was that 90% of sports journalists are white males, and of those 90%, there is a very large percentage that refers to boys as men, and women are only referred to as girls. So that instinctively puts a sexist undertone into everything that they say from that moment on. I'm really drawn to the imagery of this article, and that's probably one of the reasons I chose it. I just like what the message in this image is trying to send. It's Katina pointing to herself as if to say, "It was me. I did this. I put in the hard work. This is my moment." And I think that really adds strength to what the article is trying to say. There were some more images throughout the article, which I'll scroll down to, but they're mostly just Twitter feeds. I call it lazy men's reporting, I guess, in some regards. Probably the most important of these is a tweet by Lauren Keeney. Lauren Keeney has supposedly fixed a Chicago Tribute tweet, rewriting as it a 3-time Olympian Corey Kogel wins a bronze medal in Rio Olympics, as opposed to Corey Kogel, wife of the Bears lineman, wins a bronze medal at the Rio Olympics. And I think that's a pretty good one too. This issue in general stands out to me because I am a woman, hopefully seen as a strong and independent one. However, even in a female-dominated industry such as teaching, where you would expect there to be a far more even playing field, the inequality is still quite obvious. In my local area where I live, there are approximately 9 males to every female currently in a principal role in a primary school. And that seems really far-fetched, considering, according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics, in primary schools, there is a 80% female ratio to a 20% male one. And I just wonder how it is that 80% of the teachers in this area comprise of, less than 10% of the leadership capacity. And this struggle and the statistics you see here really speak true with, and forgive me if I don't pronounce this right, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's comments, and I'll quote her here. She says, "I knew that because I was female, I would automatically have to prove my worth." And this is exactly what this swimmer's going through, having to prove her worth, again and again. And I'm thinking, isn't being an Olympic athlete enough? Isn't winning a gold medal and breaking the world record, isn't that enough? Anyway, this issue permeates directly into education in 2 different ways. Firstly, directly within my classroom. In my classroom, I have approximately 70% males to a 30% female ratio. So I'm always mindful of that, and I'm always mindful of wanting to empower the girls in particular, just so that everybody has a level playing field. And one of the reasons I do this is because sometimes I feel like, in my role, professional role, it's not an even playing field. And I will speak of something that happened at my school at the start of term 2, and we have a briefing before we start. And on the very first day, our principal welcomed everybody back, and he spoke of all the great things that we hope to achieve for the term. And then he glanced over and he noticed that one of the boys had a haircut, and he said, "Oh, Aiden, you've had a haircut. Oh, that's good." And then he pointed to another boy and said, "Oh, David, you have too." And then he pointed to a third one. He said, "Oh, wow, Bill, you've had one too." And then he kind of went around and he spoke about every single boy's haircut in the room. And not one word was mentioned about any one of the girls, And I guess I took a bit of personal offence to this because I'd had a haircut the day before, so my hair was very obviously freshly cut, and he didn't mention any of that. And it feels a little bit like we're not seen as important as the boys are in that context. Now, bear in mind that professionally I feel very well supported there. There's just a little undertone that comes in sometimes. Anyway, this article has stated the obvious, that sexism is still there. Women still encounter it on a daily basis, and men somehow seem blissfully unaware that it's even occurring. It is, however, great to see the publicity of this topic. I think the more people that are around and the more people are talking about it, the more educated we can all become, and hopefully we will have that level playing field one day.